Okay, so we've just had our first little ride on the new 2017 Sanction Expert. Well, comparing it to my 13 Force, I run my suspension fairly stiff in the Force, so we've just driven the bike straight out of the shop at Switch Bike Co, North Ipswich in Queensland, Australia. The bike just comes straight out of the crate, and Sash and Stu built her up for me and picked her up this afternoon after work. So we just pretty much straight out of the shop, straight onto the trail. So I haven't set it up for myself or anything yet, so suspension's still a bit soft, brakes need to bed in. But first impressions, man, it climbs like a dream. I was always been happy with the way the Force climbs, but the Sanction, it just did it so much easier. I actually climbed further than I ever have on the Sanction in the first run than I ever have on the Force. So we did one quick run this afternoon before it got too dark. We went up to Castle Hill in Ipswich in Queensland, and we did one quick run down Rowies before it got too dark. Really happy. I hit every jump that I've ever hit on this bike straight away. Probably the only thing I would say is the shorter stem, because it's a more aggressive bike than the Force. So the Force puts you sort of more over the front, so I generally run a bit more weight over the front of the bike. This one I found the front washed it a little bit, but it is running tubeless. I've never run tubeless. I've never run a 27.5 bike either. This is my first time on 27.5. So the more I move my weight around, as I come back to the back of the bike, the better the bike handled. So obviously it's just going to be set up. Once I get the brakes working, I'll play around with suspension a bit better. I'll get the bike running, get it back to Switch Bike Co to get the boys to do a little bit of fine tuning, and then I'll take her out and tune her some more. But overall, 2017, the Sanction is stiff, it's solid, it's burly, it's a chunky bike, it's beautiful to look at. GT's done a fantastic job with the fine details, great components. We got the LG1 chain guide on it, race face cranks, which seem to work fine for me. She's stiff. It's beautiful and stiff. It almost rides like my Speed Series Carbon BMX, and that's after the first ride. So once we get the bike running, I hope to do a couple more reviews. But I'd like to thank GT Australia for giving me the opportunity to be an ambassador in Queensland for GT. Super stoked, super proud, obviously. And so big thanks to Sash and Stu at Switch Bike Co at North Ipswich in Queensland, Australia. So yeah, we'll do a bit more riding, we'll get the bike dialed in, and we'll do a couple more videos, so stay tuned.